What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 103. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 911, and today I'm joined by John, aka Grind USA 232. John, how's it going today?
Just glad to be home from work.
Yeah, I hear you.
A long week.
You guys can catch this podcast live usually every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/Enigma911. You can join in the chat if you're a subscriber over there. We'd love to have you in on the conversation. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. It's brought to you over on YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video in MP3 on the following Friday. Last but not least, hashtag ad merch store. You get all of our swag over there, t-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand, support us. It would be greatly appreciated. So yes, John's on the podcast today. We've been meaning to have this one-on-one follow-up for a while because there's a certain brand in play now that we've had a lot of discussions with, either him and I or with Dio involved. A lot of people are talking about it. Oh, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna kick it over to John. John, what's your topic today, good sir?
So my topic is wrestling, but not WWE. I mean, if his shirt didn't give it away. I want to talk about AEW, and I've just been doing a lot of watching of wrestling and not of WWE at all. Like, honestly, AEW is it for me right now. So I've been doing a lot of watching of what culture wrestling on YouTube, and just listening to Simon's ups and downs of each show. There was actually a time where a few of the episodes, full length episodes, were on YouTube, so I was able to watch them because I can't watch them live, and we don't have recording, unfortunately. Nope. So I'm not able to do that. But I was enjoying them. Like, I actually was sitting down and watching them. I skipped a few of the fights, mainly because they weren't entertaining, but like, just mainly because like it wasn't as professional as I wanted it to be. But they're human. It happens. So I don't blame them. But I want to talk about AEW as a whole.
Okay.
And as 3-4 years that they've been in existence, where they're going, how they've been doing. Only 2 years? No.
Yeah, so AEW officially as a brand has been 2 years, and then All In, the original breakout with Ring of Honor, New Japan, the Bucks, Cody, etc., was 3 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy cow. That even shocks me more. Well, in the 2 years that they've been alive, wow, surprising that they survived COVID. I thought they would die like XFL. But I want to talk about them as a whole. I want to talk about literally everything that they're going through, what it looks like for their future, what my predictions are for champions, who I'd like to be champions, who I'd like to see in the AEW, who I don't think is going to go to the AEW, but I would like them to, stuff like that. And also kind of like how there's the comparison from WCW, WWF, and if Tony Khan, the CEO, is learning, I don't even think he's CEO, I think he's just owner, learning from past mistakes of WCW, or is he falling back into those mistakes and Vince buys him out and the whole process happens over again? Because the good thing about this is wrestling's good again because there's competition.
Right.
That's the only thing that's great about this for WWE. It basically lights a fire under their butt. And now that I think about it, I kind of want to even talk about maybe wrestlers who are disgruntled in the WWE, who you might think, or who I might think might come over. Even old timers, people who we think are lifers, who we would never think would come over.
Right.
Who we think would be good
already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of where I want to go with it.
Okay.
And if there's any other talking points that you can think of, then let's just shoot them out.
All right. Cool. Well, let's start start right at the beginning. So, essentially, with the talent that they started with Cody, the Bucks, Omega, Jericho, Mox, soon after.
Right.
what first got you excited about the AEW brand?
So when there was TNA,
Mm-hmm.
I was excited because it was literally what the name was. It was impactful. It was like the chance of holy shit. They actually meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really get to watch a lot. Um, I kind of was like, this is probably gonna go nowhere. Vince is probably gonna buy him out quick. He's gonna kill them as soon as he can. And it seemed like he was trying to do that because every time that they were in a city where WWE was, they would make their lives hell. So I was like, yeah, that's just what Vince is gonna do. So it's gonna be eventually they're just gonna go out of business because Vince is, Vince,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a tactical marketing genius to keep his company alive. Um, and then COVID hit, and I was like, oh yeah, there's no way they're gonna survive. They just started. Like the XFL is dead now, so they're probably gonna go too. Like
For
there's
TNA
no.
or
Oh no,
AEW?
for
Gotcha.
AEW,
Okay.
just it's basically I'm comparing it to early
Early
2000
TNA. Gotcha. Yeah.
TNA when
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
was really good, before it started going downhill.
Yep. I hear you.
Um, but that's really what drew me in.
Okay.
I didn't know anybody who was there.
Mm,
I mean, Jericho, really, that was it.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know anybody else. I mean,
Okay.
Cody Rhodes, but I liked that they were like, we want this to be for wrestlers by wrestlers because I've been really disgruntled with the WWE. I think they are terrible when it comes to stories.
Okay.
Absolutely terrible. They used to be great. They used to be amazing because there was competition and they had to figure out how to make things good. And all their old timers left, so they had to build up their young guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that anymore. They are now the WCW in my eyes. They are building up on their old guys like The Rock, John Cena. Um, there's a couple other ones, Triple H,
Goldberg, Brock.
Goldberg, Brock. Like they're all the big time guys.
Mm-hmm.
And now even Lashley, he's an older guy. He's been in
Yeah, there's a lot of
wrestling for a long time.
older performers there, which I mean isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I definitely get what you're saying, where you want that influx of new talent to eventually obviously take their spot. It should be like a revolving door of like, young person's
Right.
here, they live their tenure, whoop, 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 and then, let's keep going. It
Yeah,
shouldn't be a
it's
hard
like a
reset.
push. Yeah, it's like a push. The push should be revolving.
Yeah.
And the new guys need the push.
Mm,
It's just like in any company, like the company that you and I work for. They need to build up the people who don't know what they're doing
right.
so that they can free up the people who know what they're doing so that they're not stressed and then it comes down. You know how like shit runs downhill.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't you have to train up your low end people so that shit doesn't run downhill.
Right. For sure. Yeah,
So
I definitely agree with you. Like not knowing much of the talent, especially when they first started. Like I knew the Bucks, like I knew Bullet Club was like blowing up over in New Japan, and like seeing merch obviously in Hot Topic with those deals. And I hadn't watched much of New Japan or Ring of Honor at that time, but I had heard rumblings of it, and obviously the internet's a whole thing, so you see things here and there. And then yeah, like you mentioned, some older talent like Cody Rhodes was in WWE. John Moxley was in WWE. Jericho obviously has had the years upon years there. But it's been exciting seeing like the newer talent who I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. Like who's
right.
Jungle Boy? Who's Luchasaurus? Like you got glimpses of some of these talents in like Lucha Underground. I know Luchasaurus was there. That's where he first got that gimmick. And like some people in Impact or TNA, like you get glimpses of them here and there. But there's a lot of fresh faces here, and it's exciting to kind of see like, oh, okay, what's this character? What's this? And have them have the faith in those people to kind of push them. So out of the new faces that like you had no idea who they were, are there any standouts to you that you kind of like have gravitated towards?
not really
No.
per
Okay.
se. I haven't watched enough to be able to say yes.
Fair enough.
I do like Sammy Guevara.
Mm-hmm.
I do like him. He's cool. I wouldn't say I'm a super fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I do like him. I like his style. It's reminds me of Eddie Guerrero.
Mm, okay.
He's not a weakling, but he's not a power bruiser
Mm,
either. He's a mixture of both. He's a high flyer that can lift heavy things. Like I just watched him put Miro on top of his shoulders. For those who don't know Miro, um, what's his name? What's his
Rusev
name?
was the
Rusev
yeah
from WWE. Like that's a big boy.
yeah.
That's a big boy. And he did it with ease. Like just put him up and just squat. I was like, what? Excuse me? That's got to be like a 250 to 270 pound man. And like it's an awkward position because it's a man, not a barbell. Like
Mhm.
that takes skill,
Right.
and that takes like a lot of strength. So I do like Sammy Guevara after seeing that match. Obviously, I like Miro. Um, I do like his new persona,
Hmm.
um, the Redeemer. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually surprisingly I've never seen him wrestle,
Hmm.
but I like the look of Hangman Page.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I do. I like Hangman Page. I like the way he looks. He reminds me of a young Triple H almost
Hmm.
in a different way. Um, I definitely don't like Omega.
Oh, okay. Is it
Don't
just
like
like his attitude or?
his wrestling style, his attitude, the posse. Like he's
Okay.
a heel. He's a heel.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
he's not a heel I like.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you kind of alluded to it earlier with storylines, how like WWE necessarily hasn't had strong ones. There's a few here and there, like obviously Roman Reigns. Personally, I think what he's been doing this past year, too, with being the head of the table, I think that's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
I kind of like that angle. It's
Mm.
not a terrible angle. I like that he's like playing a heel.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a heel.
I'm glad he's a heel
Mm.
because like you can only push for somebody to be good. I mean, like look at The Rock. Like
Mhm.
they pushed The Rock to be a good guy, and everybody hated him.
Right.
And it kind of is going the same way with Roman.
Yeah, it took some
So
time for them to grow on The Rock and get behind him, and then obviously you went Hollywood, and then turned back on him and stuff. But so yeah, there's
right,
been a couple. There's been Roman. I really like Drew McIntyre's build up eventually to his Mania wins, and stuff. And then, but yeah, so you mentioned storylines. I know you haven't watched a lot just because our work schedules are a whole thing. Have there been any storylines, whether you follow on social media or maybe just caught in the past in old episodes that have really stuck with you?
yeah, the Fiend and Alexa Bliss,
Okay, so the WWE side. So that
WWE
one.
side.
Okay.
Um, for AEW, I
Mm,
haven't really like the tag. Honestly, I think AEW does tag teams great.
for sure.
They make them relevant.
Mm,
Like they're not just oh, this is just a match filler. They actually make them comparable,
mm-hmm.
and you feel the rivalry because when they were doing the tournament, I actually felt that. Like I was actually in that.
Okay.
And the story behind the Bucks are assholes. We gotta dethrone them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt that. And I wanted the Jurassic Express to win
For sure.
very badly. And then I watched the uh the Lucha guys. I can't remember their name.
Penta Zero and Ray Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lucha Bros.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lucha Bros. That's
Yeah,
what
it's
they're
just they didn't come out of the box with anything so significant. They have a
Yeah.
Death
I
Triangle with Pac, but yeah.
I do like them. I
Mhm.
do like them. I'm glad that they became champions. I don't know if they're still currently champions because I
At,
haven't
at the
really
moment, they are.
followed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do like that they became champions because they're just like in that moment they were faces even though they were heels.
Yeah, they've been down this weird trajectory where they were like, we're good guys, then we're bad guys, we're good guys, I don't know what we are, and then we were super good guys leading into that match.
Yeah, they're like anti-heroes,
I mean,
which
it's a fucking group called Death Triangle. I don't know how good you can get with that, but whatever.
they're dead. But I do like them. Um, they have AEW has some weird tag teams
Uh-huh.
that I'm just like looking at like, yeah, you're gonna be forever tag team.
Okay.
I'd like to see Jurassic Express, but like get single shots.
Hmm.
Um, I know that the Young Bucks are always going to be tag team. Like that's their
Yeah,
brand.
they
That they're never going to split up.
back in the TNA days when they were Generation Me, they got split up, and that did not go well. So yeah, they've been sticking together, and I think that's always been their intention too. Like Obviously, they can do the single matches if need be, but no, yeah, they're like you said, the brand they're together.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing.
No,
Like,
for sure.
look at the Hardy brothers, like, or the Hardy Boys, like
Hardy's
they're
Dudleys,
one of the great. Yeah, they're one of the greatest tag teams ever, and then they went on a singles. They were good.
Right.
Like, both of them went to be on champions, and same with the Dudleys. Like, both of them went to be a champion. I think
Bubba definitely did. Devon did not.
I don't think
at least Devon didn't win like world championship level. I don't know if he ever got like a mid title, like a European or U.S. Intercontinental. I don't think so. I could be wrong with that.
I want to say I've seen him with an Intercontinental.
Okay.
Or USA.
Yeah, I didn't watch mainly when they were around, so I don't know for sure. But yeah,
I know that one. Yeah, I know one of them got sent to SmackDown.
Yeah,
like that was a big deal.
It was Bubba was on Raw, and then Devon was on SmackDown as the Deacon with Batista as his muscle.
Yeah, and Batista's like, I hate this character. But storylines back in the day were good because they had to think, what do I got to do? And I think the reason they were good is because Vince was more open to people being themselves and not just saying, this is your gimmick. You cannot go outside the box. You stay in the box. It's like, but this isn't who I am. I don't care. You stay in the box.
Yeah, Attitude Era was definitely something interesting because they did, in a way, like they still had the gimmicks. Like you had a Taker, you had a Kane, which obviously, propelled higher. But then you had a lot of levels lower, where the gimmicks, weren't particularly great. But you did have more talent that had elements of themselves in it. 100% agree. I think something in the modern day now that's kind of tough. I don't know if it's all on Vince because there's only so many fingers we can point at him. Don't get me wrong. He has his, hand in this in this thing too of like,
a lot of the changes are last minute are him.
Right. Yeah. It's his company. So like what he says goes. And I get that. I think another thing that kind of adds to it is maybe the creative side of things. Obviously, WWE is mainstream, right? So they want to kind of hit that broad audience and the whole PG era, et cetera, et cetera. Like, we want this big overarching net to kind of catch in everybody. So the writers may be kind of catering to these kind of specific or grand audiences instead of the niche, like, oh, we're hardcore, we want this, like, wrestling fans or whatever the hell.
Well, I do know that there's been a couple episodes I've watched of WWE in the recent past, where they started swearing.
Yes, they've kind of lightened the screws a little bit there, which is...
Yeah, and I noticed, I was like, are we coming out of the PG era?
Right. But yeah, there's still, like, especially when you watch the main roster stuff, there's still, like, you have the wide range. You have the serious storylines with like Roman, Drew, Bobby, Goldberg, etc. And then you get the hokey stuff, where it's like suspension of disbelief. It's not bad, but it's like sometimes you got to look at it in a different light. Like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I shouldn't be so harsh on it. Or like, let's just have fun with it. And I turn off my brain. Like, there's a wide range of spectrum of that. While AEW is more like, this is wrestling. This isn't, sports entertainment. We're here to wrestle. We're here to, kick ass. Right. And I think something that might have helped inspire it in a way, like obviously Ring of Honor, New Japan, what they were doing there, they just was like, let's do that, but let's do it here. That the WWE didn't see was NXT. NXT was the first alternative before there was an alternative. Because like, Triple H was doing what AEW is doing in NXT, and
I actually thought NXT was its own thing. I was like,
okay.
What is this? I was like, they came out with a new underground? Holy shit, let's go.
Right.
Nah, Vince owned it.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was obviously under the WWE umbrella, but Triple H and Shawn and the rest of the, producers, they were able to run with it. Unfortunately, we're at 2.0 now where it's all getting the rebrand and fresh face, which, I get it from a business point, but also don't get it. But, it's not my thing to run.
You shouldn't have moved it to Wednesdays. That's the thing. You shouldn't have tried to go up against it.
It was bold.
You should just let it be Tuesday.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, it was a bold strategy. I get why they would want to do it to, like you mentioned even earlier with TNA, like stomp it in the ground. Like, I get that. But, yeah, it split the audience, the whole thing there, blah.
Yeah.
So with AEW, have you seen a lot of the surprises, the new signees, like stuff like that going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I loved how they brought Adam Cole. Spoiler.
Oh, I mean,
And
it's a month later.
and Brian Danielson,
Mm-hmm.
Formerly Daniel Bryanson.
Well, that's the son, but yeah.
However, however you say that name, come out literally at the same time.
Yep.
That was amazing. Watching, hearing, and feeling the reactions of CM Punk after all the rumors,
Right.
and just be like, yo, he's got to show up. And like, there was no like real confirmation.
No.
It's still all speculation. And then just the start of the show, boom, cult of personality is like, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they're playing a sick joke on us. And literally, the guy walks out is just like, I had a promo, but I don't even know what to say right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even he broke kayfabe because of the reactions of the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, that was great just to watch all of that. And I was shocked by Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
Highly shocked. Like, wait a minute. You just got a show on Netflix, and now you're in AEW.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well.
I like the show.
I still mean to go give it a try, but I don't know what kind of viewership they were pulling with that. But yeah.
It's just like any other
It's a sitcom.
typical sitcom. If you love sitcoms, you'll love it.
Mm.
If you hate sitcoms, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah. So
But go ahead.
along with those names, we've gotten a lot of people either signing on or showing up through the forbidden door. So we got Mark Henry, we have Aleister Black, now called Malachi. Is it Malachi Black?
Yep.
Oh boy. We've had people from New Japan showing up with Bullet Club or someone else. We've had obviously Christian Cage making his return or showing up there. We have the new signee recently of Leo Rush officially. Who else? We got Bobby Fish from NXT. What's up?
Yeah, Bobby Fish, Ruby Riott.
Ruby Riott. Yeah, Ruby Soho now. I don't know how I forgot that one. Come on, what am I doing?
Yeah,
like a lot of signees, a lot of people coming in. Are you excited about these new talents coming in?
Yeah, absolutely. It can only boost the show and make everybody better. Like Bobby Fish. Like, no offense, Bobby Fish is a great talent, and I've listened to many different talks on people talking about Bobby Fish, but he's a mid-card guy. He is going to make people who are in the mid-card better to show out to see if they can be champions. Because I don't think I think Bobby Fish would be TNT champion at the most.
Right.
At some point. No offense to Bobby Fish, he's a great talent.
Yeah.
Great talent.
Yeah.
But I think he's there to help build up the young people who are either just getting in, the homegrown. I cannot wait for their literal first homegrown person, like WCW with Goldberg.
Right.
Not exactly that, but like this is a homegrown talent. And I can't wait to see what all this talent that has come in is going to do with that homegrown talent.
Now, following up with that, like, obviously we're excited about the new talent. Like, it brings that new energy, like you said, with Punk, just an emotional moment, and the reactions for Bryan Danielson, for Adam Cole. Like, it's electric in those buildings. At some point, do you think there will be a fall off or, like, a tipping point when maybe these returns, these appearances kind of do more negative than positive?
No.
No?
I don't think there's going to be a negative to it.
Okay.
Because I believe everybody is looking for something new. I think the 18 to 35 range has been highly deprived of what they want. Like, they have not been getting what they want. And it has shown. And now they have something. And they're excited. And we're millennials, especially in that age range. Like, we're millennials. Like, we're very passionate about what we like. And we don't care if anybody likes it. As long as we like it. And then when we find other people who like it, we bond together. So I think AEW is just gonna grow because there are a lot of wrestling fans who've been disgruntled with WWE, and now they see a different brand, and that's why it keeps showing. And I don't know, numbers are numbers, ratings are ratings, but I've been hearing every time I'm watching something that AEW is beating WWE in the ratings every week.
Mm.
Like every single week it's happening. And it's not NXT, it's SmackDown.
Mm.
Like Fox's show. Like Fox is very upset with WWE because it's like this is not what we paid you for.
Mm.
This is not going the direction we want. And even Raw is not Raw is at a, I don't want to say an all-time low, but it's at a low from what it has been. So yeah, I think AEW's the sky's the limit right now.
Mm.
The more people they get is just going to help boost them. Um, what I am worried about is they're going to get too big too fast,
Mm.
and they're not going to know how to handle it. I do think they have a lot of good people around them who know how to handle it, but I'm afraid that it's going to explode faster than they really want.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And I've even talked about this on a previous episode of the podcast of this being one of my concerns with AEW is like, of course, I'm excited about all these, new talents showing up and I want other talents to show up. And, I'm happy people are excited. But it's like at some point, if there's something new every week, that's great. It kind of seems almost like it's flashes in the pan, like high energy, then nothing. Previously I've talked about like certain talents who have shown up, and then I'm like, what are we doing with them now? Like Christian Cage, for example, just the first one I can think off the top of my head, comes in, really, really cool. We do a good program at the Battle Royale, with Jungle Boy, cool. Jungle Boy gets his shot, awesome. Jungle Boy's been getting the push, let's keep doing that. Christian gets a shot at the Impact World Championship, wins that. Yep. Sweet. Finally, the first chip away at Omega. All right, great. He's got the Impact title. Hasn't done dick with the Impact title yet. I think he's got a defense coming up against Josh Alexander, which would be a great match over there. But then on the AEW side of things, like now he's just kind of like a background player to Bryan Danielson, to Jungle Boy, to Luchasaurus. Like he's part of that pack to go against the Elite. So like,
well, wasn't he supposed to have he lost the title match, right?
He lost the AEW shot. Yeah, that was on Rampage. I don't remember. No, that was the night. That was the night Cole and Brian showed up.
Right, that's right.
Yeah,
that is right.
So since then he's been kind of out. Who else has shown up that is kind of like doing nothing? Matt Hardy's kind of in this weird limbo. Like he's always doing something, but like he's just there to kind of fill the role.
So I think to answer that question is a lot of these big names. They're big names.
Right.
What I think AEW is doing with those big names is this. Big name, new guy.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because like you could see that Matt Hardy's doing that with a few guys. Like he's like
the Hardy family
agent.
order. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like an agent and he's like boosting people. Like his name is getting them noticed.
Yeah, which I 100% agree with because Sting and Darby's another example of that. Obviously, we just talked about Christian and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and those guys. But
I do like Darby a lot. Mm-hmm. He's the new Sting in that industry, and he's like he's the Hulk Hogan, if you will. He's the growing prospect. Gotcha. I think he's the homegrown. I don't know if he's done any indies or anything, but like he's the homegrown AEW. And like for Punk to say that would be my favorite wrestler, like that's the nod. Here's the brass ring, sir.
Right.
Go ahead and run with it. And a lot of people like him. I like him. And he's not your atypical wrestler. Not at all.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that's a genius idea. Why not put the experience with the less experience, like build them up? 100%. That makes sense. And we even mentioned that with Fish earlier. Fish comes in, builds up other people. That's smart. That's what I was hoping for him in NXT once Undisputed Era broke up, and then obviously release after release after release. Just like, no, what are we doing? But my thing is just like, if you have all the people you're bringing in fresh from other, companies, WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Impact, wherever they are coming from, it's exciting to see them come in. But then also, what do we do with the people who have been here? All right. So an example I used last time I brought this up, Sonny Kiss, Joey Janela. Sonny Kiss was on fire when he first, started. Had a good program with Cody for the TNT title, super popular. Okay, done with that. Joey Janela, early in the company, was having these crazy hardcore matches with Jimmy Havoc, RIP, not even in the company anymore because he did some scummy stuff, and some other people, Joey Janela's doing his stuff. So then we tag these two together. Okay, this can work. We like tag teams.
Idea.
Yeah, we like tag teams. We're going to put them on Dark, and we're going to put them on Elevation.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Most of those matches, if they last 5 minutes, they're
still getting, because like on Dark, they're still getting the promotion. Like I can go and watch Dark right now.
Yeah,
there's like many episodes, and even like I do like that they're taking all talent and putting them on Dark, not just well, you're a big name guy, you don't have to go to Dark. No. They're sending some of the big name guys to Dark as well, so you actually go watch it,
right?
Which is very smart because it's like, oh, CM Punk's gonna be on Dark. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that. And then you watch the whole thing, waiting for CM Punk,
right.
Unless you are a jerk and fast forward to CM Punk.
Right. So they put them on there, right? And they wrestle every once in a while. Okay. Then we start getting little, friction in between them. Oh, they're gonna break up. They tease it for months. Joey's an asshole. He's gonna turn on Sonny. Blah blah blah. Joey finally does this turn. Super kick. Bah! Sonny's down. Oh my God, drama. Story like we want.
Right.
Nothing afterwards. What are we doing? TH2.
So,
another team. TH2's now in Hardy Family Office or whatever the hell we're calling them. They're a great tag team. Why are we using them in tag team stuff? We're just doing stuff. I'm a lackey with Hardy. Private Party's another one with that. I don't know. I just feel like some of these talent who have been there. I'm not saying like everybody's got to get a shot. Everybody's got to do this. Blah blah blah. But that's just my fear of like we bring in all these new people and then we're just dumping the rest, down below. That's just a concern.
I get that. And honestly, unfortunately, there's going to be mid card guys.
Yeah, which nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But I think it all has to do with, there are things that we don't know. Because one, we're not in the business. Two, we're not there.
Right.
Three, we're not talking to these guys. So maybe my first question was, are they still in the company? The next question is, are they potentially injured? And we don't know it because they don't want us to know. And is their mental state okay? Are they taking a mental health break? Or are they building them up because they're not that experienced and they actually had a botch that we didn't catch? And maybe it's political, like, well, I don't like the way he wrestles, so that happens. So there's a whole bunch of different factors of why someone wouldn't get a push or would just die, in popularity and exposure. And it goes the same thing with WWE. Like, The Fiend. Hottest thing since sliced bread. Everyone loved him. My sister, who never liked wrestling, absolutely despised wrestling growing up with me. I loved watching it. She hated it. Fell in love with The Fiend. Now she loves wrestling. She's like, hey, AEW is coming to Boston or New York in December, and me and my fiance want to go. Do you want to go with us? Like, you want to go to a wrestling event? Yeah, hell yeah. Yes, I want to go. I'm surprised. Yes, let's go. Like, my sister fell in love with The Fiend and Bray Wyatt. Like, and what they did with Bray, like this, they just did a whole bunch of this. Like, Bro, just give him the fucking title. He's a fucking genius. Let him just do him. Stop trying to control him to do what you want him to do. And I think that was why he left or wanted to leave, and that's why they released him, because there was just too much turmoil of let me just do what I want to do, and they're like, no, you can't. You're under contract. You do what we say. We pay you. And like I think he wanted to go in directions with the Fiend that they weren't allowing him to, because one reason was they thought, oh well, Finn Balor will just fill that void because I think I can market the Demon to kids better than the Fiend, which is understandable. And I think people mine and your age like the Fiend because it's dark, and I've noticed with millennials we like dark stuff, like Halloween dark stuff, like scary stuff. I don't know why, we just do. And I really think the Fiend should have held the belt longer in WWE, and all of it had to do with, I think personally, political things like this is what I want to do with my character. Well, this is what we want to do with your character. That's not what my character is. Like, that doesn't work. Well, that's what we want to do. It's like, well, I don't want to do that. Well, then you're going to drop the belt.
Yeah, there was
Right,
the whole
drop the belt.
there was the whole Goldberg thing too, coming back because we set him up for Braun. No, we set him up initially for Roman. Then Roman left because COVID and his health concerns, and then Braun
they
filled
set
the
him
role.
up with Brock.
No, Brock was Drew. I'm talking Mania like 35, 6, where like COVID first started and it was like empty arena. So like Seth and Bray, I think Bray won it from Seth, and then Bray had the title, was doing that for a while, lost it to Goldberg, and then Goldberg was supposed to go against Roman. Like they were setting up that dream match scenario for Mania. Then Roman pieced out because health. Braun filled in last minute. And then Braun obviously went on because Goldberg's, part-timer. He's not going to hold on to that. And then Brock on the other side of things was over on Raw going against Drew, because we already had that program set up from Rumble where Drew threw out Brock. And then, yeah, we kind of...
That's when I started really like watching WWE. Drew was an amazing champion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he only held it for a short time. Like, I feel like
6 months.
they give, yeah, that to me is kind of short, because I compare everything to John Cena, CM Punk. Like, those guys held it for like over a year, close to 2 years sometimes.
I know Punk had the long range. Cena had a lot of reigns. I don't know how long. I don't know his longest reign.
All his reigns were very long. All of his reigns were very long.
Okay.
They weren't short. Like, they were very long reigns. Because he was the guy. And I think of Edge having long reigns. Randy Orton having a 9-month reign. Like, bro, like 3 months max is what these guys are getting. And like, they're the guys. Like, yeah, if they have a 3-month reign, throw them back in, like make it a long rivalry and like keep it going, like switch the belt, like do a surprise thing, like keep us guessing, keep us on our toes. Don't let us see the equation. I felt like they let us see the equation. Like when they gave the belt back, I can't remember if it was Brock or I don't remember who they gave it to, but when he lost it it was Goldberg. When he lost it to Goldberg, I just sat there like, I knew this was going to happen. Why am I shocked? Why am I surprised? I knew this was going to happen. I saw it. It's like writing on the wall. Like they're screwing Bray.
Yeah, it's unfortunately with what they've done with the part-time talent. You're like, oh, Goldberg's coming in, great. All right, we're gonna do that. Oh, Brock's coming in. Oh, great, we're doing that. Like Brock's gonna be an interesting one coming up, just because Roman, like they're doing the head of the table thing. Roman's beat up a lot of strong opponents. Like he's beat up Edge, he's beat up Bryan, he's beat up Cena. Like they're lining people up, and this could be for the eventual payoff blowout of another part-timer coming in of The Rock, but that's a familial tie, and this is a big storyline overarching for Roman that makes sense. Like I'm behind it, I get it, the whole part-time thing, blah blah blah. Like I don't know if Rock has to win that, but I do want to see that match. if that makes sense. So, like, Brock could be another stepping stone. And then the interesting element is Heyman sprinkled in there, with Heyman being obviously having the ties to Brock, but then being the talking, the accomplice to Roman for the past however long. That's like, ooh, a little element to it. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, this is the only time I've been excited for Brock in the past 10 years is like right now, him and Roman. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm in.
Honestly, the only reason I'm excited is because he got a man bun.
I mean, it looks good.
He got hair finally.
Right. Well, anyways, let's get back to AEW. We were talking about titles, so we'll use this as our little segue. Champions right now. How do you like the champions right now, and maybe who do you think will get a title run down the line?
I like that Sammy Guevara is getting a shot.
Yep.
And to be champion. Mm-hmm. I think that's great. I was surprised. I thought Miro was going to win. I did not think Sammy was going to win. But that makes me question, okay, Miro lost. He didn't rebuttal. He didn't fight back. That's kind of what I think his character would have done. Like, he's very arrogant, I'm God's chosen. So for him to lose, that's a big blow on his ego. He didn't fight back. He let Sammy have his celebration. Mm. He's getting a title shot for the big belt in the next year.
I could definitely see a year. My thinking is obviously God's champion. Like you said, the ego struck. Maybe he's taking some time to build himself back up. Not that he's going to come back and win it per se, but maybe they'll do a continuation of the program. Like right now, gonna happen. Right now it's just the Forbidden Door once again with Sammy. Like, this is still fresh. It's only been a week or two, maybe that. Bobby Fish was
the 8th.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yesterday.
So yeah, Fish is the first defense. Forbidden Door. Wow, we're gonna do that. Now somebody else is gonna roll in, whether it's Forbidden Door or somebody else who's just been around isn't exciting. It's kind of like Cody. Cody was doing the new challenger every week, kind of thing. Eventually, Miro's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, whoa, he's back and he wants his title. Maybe Lana will be with him then, and that will be like the more exciting thing.
Yeah, because they've been hinting at that.
Yeah.
Oh no! When I mean he's gonna get a championship shot, he's going to be champion in a year or two.
Yeah, and you were talking about the big title. I was just saying, like, right now
he's gonna get a shot and he's gonna win. I don't know if it's gonna be his first shot, but he's getting a shot. He may lose, but he's getting a shot. Then he's gonna get a second shot. I don't know if it's gonna be close. I don't know how far it's gonna be. I predict it's gonna be 4 months after the shot.
Okay.
Possibly, because he's gonna come back into the picture. He's gonna have a shot. He may lose, he may win, but if he does lose, he'll come back later, and he'll win. Mm-hmm. If he keeps that popularity, and he keeps his character popularity in that upward trend. If it goes down, obviously he's not gonna get a shot because the people don't really care.
For current recent stuff, I think that could work for Miro is the comeback. Maybe with Lana, do a little more of a program with Sammy, because this was a quick turnaround of we're gonna beat up Fuego. Fuego's gonna lose his car, and then Sammy's gonna come in and save the day. This is just a continuation or a second kind of burst for him, and then like you said, he can move on to that world title picture, which with Kenny being it doesn't make sense in wrestling terms because heel v heel.
That's it. The championship will trade hands. Omega will lose it.
Right.
I don't know. I think he's going to lose it to Hangman.
Okay.
I think Hangman is going to be a face.
Yeah,
he's going to be like a Steve Austin, kind of like a anti-heel, but more face than heel. If that makes any sense.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Because when they brought him back, woo-wee.
Good reaction, yeah.
Yeah. I have not watched it. All I saw was the thumbnail. I'm like, ooh, let's go, baby. I've been waiting for you. I heard your name, and it's where the hell has he been?
Yeah, he took some personal time.
You had a baby. Okay, that makes sense. good on you.
Right.
And then boom, it's like, come on, baby. I want to see your special. I don't even know what your special is. I want to see it.
I don't know if he did it at during the ladder match, the slingshot lariat or buckshot.
He did.
I don't know. He did dead eye off the ladder. I know that, but yeah.
I think he's gonna win it, and he's gonna go up against the Elite numerous of times. They're gonna probably rob him.
Well, it's his old crew. That makes sense too. They got a lot of chemistry.
So they're gonna take it from him. He's gonna take it back. They're gonna take it back. He's gonna take it back, and then he's gonna keep it. Then Miro is gonna have his shot, and then we'll see what happens there. Cool. I don't know what that time frame looks like, but that's my prediction of Miro's title shot.
Okay. And then how you?
They're gonna use a different face,
right,
for the title.
Yeah, I could definitely see Miro getting that world title shot eventually. So how do you feel about like the other champions? We got the tag champs. We talked about TNT already, and then the women's.
The Lucha Bros. I personally want Jungle Express
Jurassic
to be
Express,
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jurassic. Yeah, Jurassic.
Yeah, I do that all the time too. Jungle Boy and then
Jungle Boy. Yeah. I want them to be champions because I love their style. Jungle Boy is not. You know how like Big Kaz and Enzo.
Yep.
Like when Enzo's in there, like motherfucker's gonna be in here for like 8 minutes getting his ass kicked. And then Cass is going to come in here for about 30 seconds, beat everybody up, tag Enzo back in, another 8 minutes of his ass getting beat. It's not like that with Jungle Boy because he's still a big guy. Like, he's tall and he's got some weight on him, but he's not a weakling. Right. He definitely can hold his own. And then, obviously, Luchasaurus is a freaking dinosaur. Like, come on. So I like their style of wrestling. It's fast-paced. It's always go, always go, always go. Very exciting. None of those.
Oh, yeah, the dramatic.
Tag me in. Tag. None of that. I hate that bullshit. I like them because there's none of that. It's they go to tag, they miss the tag. Okay. They don't spend 30 seconds on it. And I'm over-exaggerating because long matches are like 15, 20 minutes. But I would like them to win it. I'm okay that the Lucha Bros have it. It's not the Young Bucks. Because there's a few people in the Elite I really, really don't like as characters. Okay. I think they are terrible characters.
Interesting. Is it just, like, once again, the attitude similar to Omega? Or
no, they're just useless. Like the guy with the mask and the spray. It's like, you
useless. Shitting on my boy Brandon Cutler?
Yeah, I am.
Fuck
yes,
you.
I am. He's a useless motherfucker.
He's there for the hilarity factor. Cutler's amazing. I loved Cutler back when he was on Dark with Peter Avalon and Leva Bates doing the initiative and having the losing streak. I love Cutler. I love watching his Twitch streams. And now that he's heel and he's being the comedic role, I'm like, yes, good job. I love it. I don't know.
Hey man, to each his own. But I have never delved into him, so I just see him with them.
I understand.
I'm like, you're the most useless dude ever. What are you doing?
Yeah, Michael Nakazawa is the same way, where he's over the top and like, yeah, he's a joke.
And then like, they're like, yeah, he's gonna wrestle. I'm like,
I mean, he can wrestle, but yeah, you know, it's not like, going.
Yeah, the useless one's gonna wrestle? That's like Shane O'Mac wrestling The Undertaker.
Okay, I wouldn't put it that. Hold on now. Let's put one of the other Mean Street Posse guys in there. That I'll put a little bit more equivalent.
But I really don't like Don.
Oh no, Don's a piece of shit.
Yes, he is. But he's the guy that you love to hate. So that's why
yeah.
That's why I'm not too upset about
He does well in his role, but I still think he's a piece of shit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I gave you your first shot, and then I fired you.
Yeah.
Asshole. What else? The women's side, Honestly, I think WWE wrestlers are better than AEW women's.
Fair.
Yeah. I'm not a huge women wrestler fan, but when it comes to who I think is better, definitely WWE.
Okay.
100%.
I think
I'd rather watch a WWE women's match like with Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, um Bailey
Mhm.
than some of the women on AEW.
Okay. I think I can agree with some of that because I've talked about the women's division, how it needs to be stronger. I think that's a big
Yes.
thing. Like, there's some standouts, there's some highlights. Like, Britt Baker is great. Thunder Rosa is great. Fantastic, even. Obviously, Ruby's a good signee. It's going to be great to see more of what she can do. Obviously, in WWE, it was kind of like, didn't get to see a lot with the Riot Squad, unfortunately. Who else is there? Chris Statlander's great. Then we have, like, the rest of the roster, the ladies roster, where we're like, I get it,
Right.
but like there's not that relationship rapport with them yet, where it's like I feel connected here.
Who's that one woman who's like ripped as fuck?
Jade Cargill.
Black. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pushing her.
I am impressed with her.
Mhm.
Very impressed with her.
Yeah.
I liked how she was very. Look at me! I am an Amazon warrior princess. Like I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and you're gonna let me, and you're going to enjoy it, and you're gonna ask me for more.
Mhm.
I like that. And then the person, she fought another black girl. I can't remember her name.
Red Velvet.
But yeah, I liked that match.
Yeah.
That was a good match. It's growing for sure. It's not as exciting as WWE for sure.
Okay. All right. I would I'd say the couple of highlight names that I mentioned. Like I said, I know schedule wise we can't watch everything, so it's a little hard to. But I'd say if you get a chance, watch some of their stuff because they're doing great.
I know I haven't watched Britt Baker. I've
Okay.
never seen her. Never seen her wrestle. Her character's cool. She is a very sure of herself, confident woman, which one is attractive, and two, yeah, it's a great character. Like you're definitely playing your character right, and yeah, the reason your fans love you is you're very good. You're very good at playing your role. Like I don't see any. Like there are sometimes like you see somebody playing the role, you're just like, you don't believe this. Like
Right.
Dean Ambrose when he was like Dean Ambrose, like, and like they were making him all goofy. Like
There was a
you could
couple
tell.
times, yeah, it's like this doesn't fit or whatever.
Yeah, and you could tell that he's not having it, and he's just doing it to meet the obligation, so he doesn't like lose money.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but yeah, and then there are some that just are just not good at it, you know, and you can see them. But no, there's a few of them who are very good, and the women's division, I think they need like a Trish Stratus, a Lita,
somebody established.
Yeah, like another woman, rest her soul, but like China, like somebody who was iconic in WWE.
Yeah, I get that.
And
somebody like a
knows
Mickey
how to
James.
teach them. Yeah, knows how to teach them because like Britt Baker wasn't in WWE. She had a great run in WWE for a while.
Britt Baker?
Yeah, didn't she? Didn't she have it in NXT?
No, NXT wanted her, but she never went.
I thought she was.
No, because it was always a joke because Cole was in NXT and Britt was in AEW, and they would always be like, so you're coming over here? So no, Baker was not over there.
I thought she started in WWE.
No.
Never mind then. So yeah, I would say, yeah, they would need then why was she on the WWE video game?
Britt Baker?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that name.
No.
Mandela effect.
You'll have to think about it. Let me know. What you're thinking of.
I don't know. I remember Baker, and I feel like I remember Britt Baker on WWE. Wow, this is gonna bug me all night because like I feel like 100% it's there.
The only time she showed up on WWE programming, there was an NXT Takeover War Games, and it was Undisputed Era against Tommaso Ciampa and his team I'm blanking on. But Ciampa and Cole were up on the top of the War Games cage, and they took a bump off, or Tommaso smashed Cole through some tables, and they did a camera shot of Britt, like, concerned. And they're like, oh my God, it's Adam Cole's girlfriend. She's really concerned right now. And then it was funny because AEW made total fun of it in the COVID era the next Wednesday, and they did the same shot. Everything.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the only time I know she's been on WWE.
Okay.
I don't know about it.
That was probably when she was thinking about joining.
No, I know they've gone to support each other, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not good. They're not always assholes like, oh, fuck you. You can't be here.
But no, like, I would say they need an iconic woman to come in and help them out for them to be on the same level as WWE. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, if Charlotte were to go over,
Oof.
I would say, yeah, yep, that's it. That's all they needed.
Yeah, somebody with TV experience and obviously, you know, has the reputation. Yeah, that'd be huge.
And not only that, the confidence, like, she's a Flair. Like,
right.
Like she's got her father's strut. Like, you know, like if she were to go over, that would completely change that game, and she would elevate everyone around her because she would demand it.
Right.
Not in a bad way, but like in a
way.
Work ethic way. Like, hey, this is my character. If you guys can't meet that, like, you're gonna get left in the dust. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna change my character.
Nice. I think okay. Last question for the topic. Is there anybody outside of AEW that you would like to see brought in to maybe get a chance in that environment?
Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Yeah, like hands down. I want the Fiend to come back. I was upset that the Fiend didn't get the push that I wanted him to get. Like, and I could see that the universe wanted that push. The WWE universe, being the fans. Like, I just feel like Vince hasn't been listening to the fans. He's just been doing what he wants, what he thinks is good for business, not what the fans actually want. And I think he's turned his back on a group of the fans, namely the single 18 to 35-year-olds, men, and what we've been asking for wrestling for a while. And I've been wanting a monster for a very long time, ever since Kane kind of took a hiatus and then left. They haven't really built a monster. Like TNA's Relic. I loved Relic. And recently, I learned like his name backwards is just Killer. Like, it's like, dude, that's so intricate. And like Abyss from TNA, like I loved Abyss. Abyss was one of my favorite characters. And then when I saw the Fiend, I was like, yes, this is everything that I've wanted and loved. Like when I first saw Bray Wyatt come back as Bray Wyatt, I was infatuated. Like, yes, I love this. I just really don't like how the WWE has treated him and used him. So I want to see him go to a company that will allow him to be creative and let him be who he wants to be and let him have that freedom that I don't know if he's been dying to have, but that freedom that it seems like he's needed. Do I think he'll go to AEW? Probably not, because AEW is grounded in reality and his character is not a reality-based character.
Well, I mean, we do have a zombie in AEW.
But she's not acting like an actual zombie. Like I've heard people argue this case. From what Simon has been talking about, he's like the last person that I heard. No. Adam, the two Adams from What Culture. They're like, they believe Bray Wyatt will not be in AEW. They think he'll go to TNA probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of Impact talks recently. I know Braun is also talking about going there, or they're making a play for him. So
yeah, I would love for both of them to go to AEW because I think AEW is the bigger brand, and I would want to watch them more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like TNA.
Yeah.
Just they don't have anybody I think is entertaining. Like, but I honestly don't think that they'll go there mainly because it's a reality based, more reality based wrestling organization. Okay. They wouldn't do the Funhouse. It wouldn't make sense. I don't think it would be in their wheelhouse. Like, they would do it if they signed Bray, but it would just be it would be out of order. It wouldn't be.
It would definitely be an adjustment.
Yeah.
Abaddon is definitely zombie. If you get a chance, check her out on Dark. She's fully commits to that gimmick. Technically, Statlander's an alien. I know she doesn't really play into that super much, but they do a little out there. But I definitely understand. It would be an adjustment to how do I take this fantasy element and how do I put it in this realism.
Yeah. I mean, it's WWE is gimmicks. Mm-hmm. All characters. Nobody, like, some people are themselves, but they have star name to back that up so they can be themselves. AEW is just people.
Right.
Like Sammy Guevara.
Just a dude.
Hangman Page, just a dude. Kenny Omega, just a dude. Chris Jericho, rock star. That's a gimmick, but it's Chris Jericho.
Right.
Like, he's been a rock star his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is there? Jungle Boy. Yeah, that's the gimmick.
Britt Baker's a dentist.
Britt Baker's a dentist. Adam Cole, just a dude. There's a lot of just a person,
right?
Especially like in the women's division, it's just people.
Yeah, we tried it with Dark Order. Tried to be a little bit gimmicky with that, and it was like, yeah.
I kind of like.
Oh, Dark Order is great.
I love the concept of Dark Order. Yeah. Like, they're just people in a cult.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
started off a little rough, but yeah.
I honestly think the only way that they would bring the Fiend in would be through the Dark Order, and then if they were to bring Braun in, he would be the hero that slays the monster.
Okay.
That's how the story, I think, would work. Because the Dark Order hasn't been a thing since the death of Brody Lee. Like, that I've seen like in the recent ones that I saw them arguing, and that's it. That's all I've seen of them.
So they haven't gotten like a super push, but like fans love them.
Oh,
like,
no,
they're
absolutely.
over to the moon. Stu and Uno got a Impact title shot recently and did great there, but unfortunately didn't win. Yes, they were doing a little bit of butting heads, which I was like, okay, like I was intrigued. Because it was like, is this where Bray's going to come in and he's going to be like the glue that pulls everybody back together? Then they did the Rochester show, Brody's home, and that was the healing. So I was like, okay, that's fine.
I thought that's where they were going to bring him in because of Rochester. Like, oh, it's his hometown, and he was really close with him, so they're going to bring him in there.
Right.
But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because like we would have seen it, we would have heard it.
Yeah.
I really, really, really hope they both go to AEW because that'll bring the brand over the moon to the stars. And if those two joined, man, like I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're going to beat WWE and WWE is eventually going to go bankrupt, but like it's going to be the Monday Night Wars again eventually. Like, it's going to happen. Like, Vince is going to get too big for his britches and try and go up against them again. I don't think AEW is going to be like the instigators. They're not going to be the Ted Turners. Like, I'm going to try and get rid of Vince McMahon. No, like, Vince McMahon is going to try and get rid of them. He's going to be Ted Turner. And I think AEW and them are going to have a war. I don't know when. I don't know how long. But I think if those two were to join, that would make a war happen within the next 3 years.
Okay. Nice. Well, John, that was a great topic. Really enjoyed discussing AEW with you. I'm sure we're going to talk about it a whole lot more, obviously off stream and on stream, maybe again down the road for podcasts.
There's so much. There's so much.
It's always changing and evolving. And obviously it's a brand new company, only 2 years, and plenty more ahead of it, so there'll be a lot to chat about.